Hello my fellow space engineers and welcome back to Proxima Beyond for episode 9. Last week we touched down on the ice planet and began constructing our outpost, and today you'll notice I'm taking apart some of our initial work because I got some fresh ideas that might enhance our base. And just so you know, if it looks like I got a clear plan, it's because I actually already done all this before. Yep, I just forgot to hit the record button last time, so we're gonna do this all over again. Today's focus is going to be on finishing and closing up the outpost as much as possible, depending a bit on the resources we have, and we're going to be constructing a small miner as well to accelerate that resource gathering, and hopefully that allows us as well to complete the outpost in this episode. So what I'm going to do, we're going to move those two containers in here for the moment, and what I could have done instead, actually have put them here. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter now. Let's put the two containers in here. I put a container here and I put a container there. Go. Now we have the two containers. Now we can move everything over from the old containers to the temporary ones. So now we can grind away the rest. And we're going to start preparing the conveyor for the industrial part. So I'm going to grind away these. And we're going to put some conveyors in the floor here. And here we're going to put a vent. Then we're going to move the survival kit on top of that. And that survival kit is going to be nicely in the center. That means it's going to be dividing the room in two sections, where I'm going to have the living room on the left and an airlock on the right side. So now we can put our O2 generator here, like that. And then we're going to put two conveyors there. And these conveyors are just going to be used as temporary placeholders, so I can replace them later with more, like oxygen generators or tanks. And then on the corner we can then snap a refinery, which is going to replace the other one in the back. Kogia seems to be attacked. Ah, finally. A Cert and a Bumbo seems to be attacking each other. That's a good thing. Hopefully that damages each other enough. Because this one has been flying around here for a long time, and we'll see if he might just get destroyed enough to crash. That would be nice. Okay, now we're gonna go to the refinery and we're gonna build that refinery here instead. You know what we could do instead is maybe build it against the wall there, because then we can convey it to the left. I mean, this probably doesn't make sense for you. It will make sense once I get there. How far do we want to go here? The wall is going to close off here. Yeah, I'm going to do this here. Because then I can put an assembler against that. Then we can put a conveyor system here. So we weld up this one, and then in between there we can place our assembler with the modules towards us, like this. And then we can just simply put the modules around it, weld this up, and that's another good spot. We just then have to convey it around on the other side. Okay, let's see. Is there anything in this assembler? No. Alright, so I can grind this assembler down and then use that one to weld up this one. There we go. And then we can just grind this away and store it into the storage. I think we can do the rest here as well. We can just clear away all these conveyors now. And that oxygen generator. We can do this as well. Ooh. Let's quickly get this away. I have no idea if this is Clang or not, but this could have gone bad if so. You saw that spinning? It's insane. And then we're just going to remove all this inside here, because I'm going to replace that with interior walls or floors, blocks, interior blocks. It's going to be cheaper and also it looks better in my opinion. And then we can move the batteries below here. So I can then remove that battery we have built. Sadly, we are losing the power cells, but at least we have some batteries nicely protected underneath the floor. 2, 3. Let's put these in production. And somehow you cannot get my resources. And why is that? You're conveyed, you're connected here to the refinery. Everything is here. This is going through. This is going through. This is going through. Yeah, this is a straight pipe. Everything is green. Where's my connector where the ship is connected to? Okay, I cannot transfer from the connector to here, so you are connected to, yeah? Where's the brake? Conveyor, you go through here, you go through here, you go through here, you go in this conveyor here. Are you telling me there's nothing behind here? Am I? No, there's one there, look. Everything is connected. Why can my assembler not withdraw? Oh, I forgot to change this to a straight pipe here. That's what is wrong. Okay, let's replace that with a straight pipe. Just straight ahead, and then we're gonna weld that up, and that should sort out that assembler. Yep, there it goes. All right, now I can just make those power cells, and we can weld up the batteries. Oh, by the way, somebody was talking about changing the color, and I agree. We could do a little bit of more adjustment to it. Make it slightly more blue, like that. And let's just, I'm gonna ping everything in blue. There we go. And then we can replace it with the gray. What we need. There we go. So now I can just color the power kit, this. And then probably the floors as well, we'll see. Alright, now I can add those interior floors in here. We can weld them up later once we get the resources. I probably will have to leave a gap open on the right side until we can weld up the batteries, and then once that is done, we can then close the floor up. Yeah, we're kind of waiting for those power cells, and this assembler seems to be doing this pretty slowly. I think we should just start installing a power speed module on this. What do you think? If I just build a speed module, maybe 2 even, and just get this going a little bit quicker. I'm gonna put one at the bottom here under the ice, just like this. Place it in here, and then just weld that up. Oh, interesting. You are an idiot. All right, let's place this back and make sure that it's rotated in the right position. That's gonna be better. And now that's gonna go a little bit quicker, and I'm gonna add a second one there on the back as well. And we're gonna have our power cells in no time. I'm actually thinking about just kicking this off now in a time lapse, so you see me building this whole thing. I guess you kind of will start seeing the progress and understand how it's developing, and if there's anything happening, I can always pause and slow down there. Alright, welcome back. As you can see, we have quite some progress done here. We have split up the room in two halves. So we have on the left side, we have the living area. On the right side, you can see we have the door towards the airlock, which is going to go to the industry area. We also have switched around the blocks in the wall. So now the half blocks are on the bottom and the angled interior walls are now on top, which does make the room feel much larger. It feels more spacious, and also it's going to connect much better to the ceiling later on. As you can see, I also kept the beams I kind of liked last time. We just flipped them around so they would suit the angles of the roof. I also installed some windows on both sides because the previous one felt a little bit claustrophobic. I wasn't sure where to put the windows as well, but now by flipping it, it does feel much better. The light comes in, we have a nice view. And the air vent is also ready for later. Once we start building the airlocks, we can then make everything airtight and nice and warm. And then finally, the living area. We got some nice inset furniture here. We got the bed, we got the sofa. I will build another sofa here in front so we can watch TV. And then we also have a bookshelf. We got the survival kit nice and snug there in the corner next to the kitchen. And then on top, I do like the pipes as well. But that's gonna be it. Let's just pick up where we left off and continue the time lapse. Alright. I think we got almost everything done right now. I do need quite a lot more iron to work inside, weld up some of the walls. So I think we might have to focus for a while on our miner first, so we can start work a little bit more efficient when we're building this up. And then afterwards we can look into the airlocks and making sure that we have airtight rooms. But I'm pretty happy with what we have done so far. We do need to work on some lights as well. I mean, I'm sure many of you already can build much better than this and have some suggestions for me ready. But this is what it is for the moment, and I do kind of like what we got so far. The base definitely has some room for improvement later on. So, let's start with building our little welder here, or little drill ship, and then we can focus on that, get some stuff going. We do need to find a piston as well. I didn't see anything yet spawning in that is like a scrapyard base. We do have a ship there. You know what just despawned is the Umbro. So either the Umbro exploded or crashed. I sometimes wonder if we would be able to see crashed ships. Like there. What's that? Maybe we should check it out. How far is that? That's not too far, so maybe we should just leave everything behind. I'm gonna leave my good tools behind as well. I mean, better not lose them when I get shut up, because I have no idea if this ship has any defensive blocks on it or anything. I should have some minimal tools in here. So let's move these in here for now. Let's refill all our stuff. We got a bottle, we got our tools. I put away my good tools so we don't lose them when we get killed. And let's go and check out that crashed ship in the distance there. Where did we see it? So there's something right there, and then we're gonna go to the left and check that out as well. What is this? This is a turret. It is funny that it doesn't drop anything when you grind it down. Something there. Does this look like an assert ship? Prepare the drones. A little bit over dramatic. Prepare the drones what? Okay. Do I get shot? Nothing is shooting me so far. This does look like income. The color red and black, if I'm correct. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think Assert has... I don't think Assert has a team color. They are all different. It doesn't look like there's anything on that ship anymore that is... Could I just check it? I can. It's empty. It's also damaged. But these have thruster components, which means I can use them to fix, upgrade my little fighter as well. This is pretty, yeah, done for. I mean, apart from the thrusters, there doesn't seem to be much salvageable anymore. Most of it is broken. This was the remote control. And the rest is just like armor blocks. This connector here. Do you think we could fix that container there, or does this need metal grids? Needs 24 metal grids, which I do not have. Yeah. So it might have been easier to fix the connector and put everything in there. My god, once you've been working with the elite welder and grinder, then the classic ones. Whew. Alright, so now we can just grind everything down and put it in the connector. And then we can just fly back and forth while we bring over all the things we grinded down. There is some thruster components in this and some steel tubes, so that's good. That's actually a really good find, getting the thruster components, because that's really gonna make it easy. I mean, we have them on our ship, on our nacelle, but now I don't need to go and fly back and pick them up there. I can just use the ones we grind down, so it's really good. I think that's it now. This is just blocks, blocks, blocks. None of this is heavy armor. I don't see any more thrusters. Okay, energy is low. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take as much thruster components with me and go home. This research base is like 2 kilometers away from our base. You see that? Not too keen on that. Alright, let me just drop everything off. I'm gonna recharge my battery and I'm gonna go and pick up the rest. Just fly back and forth and drop everything off in my containers. So I guess I see you back when I'm done with that. There was another ship that was on its way now. That says Gremlin Light. Let's keep an eye on that one first. We need to go back that way there. I'm assuming you're gonna fly towards that lookout tower if you're landing. So let's give it some time, because I don't want to be flying nearby the ship when it gets close to the planet's surface. There's no need to trigger any unnecessary enemies. Although, you seem to be coming down at 3 kilometers while the building is 4.6, so where are you going? Clearance for ground, installation for supply drop-off. Are you going that way? That seems to be the case, which means you're gonna come very close. You know what? I think I'm gonna blueprint my base. Yeah, so PB, Proxima Beyond, Outpost. Yeah, we still need to figure out a name for this planet. Nobody really gave me any suggestions last time, so I just call it Ice Moon. Yeah, you're gonna get very close. And I'm not sure how aggressive you guys are if you are like attacking on sight, because we did have that drone passing by like 500 meters and it didn't do anything. So I don't know. But it's slowing down, so it's not gonna get much closer than this. 1.91. Alright, now it's going up again. So I'm assuming you're flying towards that place to land, but that's very close to my spot. That third base is also very close. Seems like they heard me talk about them. But I guess we're gonna have to start thinking about weapons if these guys are flying that close by. Alright, we got 326 thruster components, which is gonna be enough for us to build extra thrusters on a little fighter. We're gonna be working first on our miner so we can get some more resources quicker and drop them off in the container. Now, it is getting dark. You can see the sun is right about to drop down. So we're gonna go to bed and we're gonna be back next day to start on that little miner. It shouldn't be too much, just a little quick miner to get some resources, but that's gonna be it for the moment. Let's close the doors. We don't have any air vents yet, although I could probably test it now. Let me just test it. Is this place airtight? No, so let's close this. Is the place airtight? It is airtight. So this room is completely airtight. Nice. Alright, well, I'm gonna go to bed in a nice warm place and I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, so next day I'm gonna have to turn you off. I'm not sure if this kind of dissipates after a while or not. Anyway, I'm gonna open the door so everything is gonna drain. And let's focus on the mining ship. I do have that research base, which is extremely close and also seems to trigger constantly when I'm moving around a little bit. I'm really considering building a gun as well, just to be a little bit protected. And what we could do is just build maybe a few interior turrets to start with, and then we can focus on the miner. So let's check our interior turrets here, and we're gonna build a few of these on the base. If we get any drones coming in, at least these will give us some defense against it. And then once we got the miner and we mined some resources, we can then focus on some conveyor systems with turrets on top, and even maybe... we cannot make welders yet. We do need to find a welder so we can make self-repairing turrets in the future. But in the meantime, let's just build some interior turrets on both sides, and that should be okay for now. I need to still replace my tool, so let's do that. My bottle back. My tools back. There we go. Alright, let's put one of those interior turrets in our build planner, and then we can start welding them up. It is weird that these cannot be conveyed. I think this would be a nice little addition to this interior turret. Missing one steel plate. There we go. And then we need the ammo. And if I remember correctly, we did find quite some ammo while we were collecting and salvaging the ships. Let me just double check. Is this magazines? No? Should be magazines, no? Is it NATO ammo? Seems to be the only ammo we have. Now, what exactly do we need to make for this one? I'm assuming it's this. MR30E? Or is it this pistol? Okay, I'm gonna make one of each of these and see which one fits in there. Which one is gonna work? Not you. Not you. Not you. Interesting. Is it this? Is it gonna use the same ammo like I have? Okay, let me just take you. Let's take one of you. Well, I already have these. Alright, so the MR50A, that is the ammo we need for this. MR50A, which are these. I'm not entirely sure if we're going to have enough to make ammo for all of them. Let's say we put 10 per, so that's 100 we need. Let's do that. 100 should be enough to have a little bit of backup, and then we can look into drilling. So, in the meantime, while this is assembling the magazines, we can start with building our miner. For that, we're going to start up with a landing gear on the platform here, and then later we can do some better approaches to that if we want to build, but for the moment, a landing gear will do just fine. And we're going to build a small grid miner for now, so we're going to start with a small landing gear. And normally once we place it, we should not even... I need to do this again. Rotate it like that, yeah. So once we drop it, it should automatically mag plate. We don't even need to weld it up. We just can now build some blocks on top, so we have some space to work around it. And then we're just gonna have to figure out what miner we're gonna build. Alright, so we're gonna start with the cockpit, because that's also where the front of the ship is gonna be. We're not gonna have a cockpit in the back. Do we just use a simple cockpit like this? Do we use the cab cockpit? Because these have two connectors in front, so they could be handy. Or do we use this one? I really kind of like this one, to be honest. This one needs 10 metal grids, so I'm not entirely sure if we have those. Let me just check. Yeah, we have enough. I'm gonna weld this up so I can see where my ports are. So I think I want the drills to just poke out just a little bit. The conveyors are in a really weird spot, by the way, here. I was... Yeah, we're gonna have to take that one down one day. As quickly as possible, to be honest. Starting to bother me now. I mean, why are these connectors so high? They would have been much better if they were lower. Just to line up. So what we're going to do, we're going to just lower the connections by using small conveyors. We're just going to use 2 elbows to kind of drop the conveyor point. And then we can build stuff in between when needed. I should probably have... it's too late now. I'm just thinking that I might have put my time-lapse account so we could actually show it quicker. Because I have no idea how long this is going to take. And how boring that might be. You know, I think this is always the same for every content creator. Wondering if this is something people really want to see. Is this interesting enough to share? Is this going to hold people's interest long enough? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, I do want to add an O2H2 generator to the back here. So this might be actually a good position to put the connectors. Because that's going to allow me to refuel my hydrogen whenever I'm actually empty and we're on an ice moon, so it's very easy to just recharge the tank. How far does a drill poke out? That's the first thing we should check. Where is our drill, and do we put containers first? Let's say we do this. I think this is about the distance we want to poke out. Like this. Do we do 2 drills or do we do 4 drills? Gonna have to think about that. Do I just put a beacon in between here while we're at it? Let's see, beacon. Yeah, let's put the beacon in between there, because that's also is automatically gonna make it much easier to build something against it. And the beacon is nicely covered. Like this. There we go. Then we can put 2 containers left and right. Like this. And I think then we could put a drill against here. Are we too close with our drill to the cockpit, or should we go a little bit further? I think we might have to put a little conveyor in between. I mean, the drills should be fine. They are just far enough, but they will definitely obstruct my view when they start drilling. It might be a little bit too busy. And let's put a 4-way conveyor so that we can always connect something if it's necessary. There. And then we can put drills. Like this. I'm not sure if we're gonna go for like 4 drills. Or just gonna leave it with 2 for the moment. And then focus on... We can upgrade or build another one if it's necessary. Okay. Let me just weld this up. Alright, so we got 2 drills, we've got 2 containers. I'm not entirely sure if I'm happy with that. If we should put another container in the back. Or 2 more containers. These are going to be able to hold 3,000. So if I do 2 more, that's 12,000. Yeah, I think that might be a good idea. And then what we can do in the back here is put another one of those. This takes a lot of space, honestly. It's a bit of a shame. Where we could put batteries or whatever in there. Maybe we just put a conveyor below here. Yeah, and we put batteries in between here. That might be a better idea. And also we need hydrogen tanks. So let's focus on everything that is not a battery before. Yeah. Because the battery is, if I weld it up, then we cannot grind it down and lose anything. So 2. Also, I'm still wanting to put the yeah, effing hell. Do I change this to a large container in the back?
Inventory full. Inventory full.
Oxygen generator, that's gonna make my large port. Then on that oxygen generator you can now put the container like that. And we want to make it so that the large connector is connected to that oxygen generator. Yeah, not like that. We want the large connector to connect to the oxygen generator, but we also want to have 2 connectors, one to the bottom and one to the back. So then we can put the connectors on there, or at least that one direction, but we can also switch them around. Right. So ice drills can go on here on the sides, then bring it forward maybe. We can also replace these blocks with side ones, so we could have these instead. There we go. That allows me to put our drills there. Yeah, you're gonna get some pizza soon with a side of lead. I think we can do this with a conveyor here and then rotate that way. Then I should be able to put my drill back here. I might actually rotate it flat. Like this. And then on the back, we could put our hydrogen tanks. I'm not entirely sure how much we will need in tanks, but let's see. That's gonna be a problem now, because I cannot connect. I'm gonna have to make a 4-way there. Yeah, like this. I'm gonna have to change that port, and I think we could put another one like this, and that would be 6, 7, 8 tanks. The only thing I'm going to have to do here is change you into a 4-way as well. And this in an elbow. Yeah. So let's get that 4-way here and here. Put that drill back. I'm going to weld everything up because I want to see how everything is connected. Like this. Okay, so what I'm going to focus on first, we're not going to do any armor or stuff. We just want to have a drill where we can go in the ground, drill some stuff, put it in a refinery, and get some things going. By the way, we need to put those magazines in these turrets. And I think we're going to put 10 in each because I just made 100. So we have 10 turrets, so that should allow us to put 10 bullets per turret. Well, not 10 bullets, 10 magazines. I'm not entirely sure how many bullets are in one magazine. Anyway, it should last us long enough to have a bit of a defense. I mean, these interior turrets are pretty good against drones. I don't think they are good against big ships and big guns, but against drones they should be good. They are a little bit like, a bandage on a big cut. So they're going to be a bit of a buffer when it goes bad, to give us a little bit of protection. But later we'll focus on building large guns to protect this base much better. So we're just going to put these. So I can put sides and bottoms. Then we need backwards thrust, which we could put just a large thruster here.
Energy critical.
I think the most important thrust we're going to need is the lifting thrust, which is going to be for the weight. So what I can do is put a battery here. And I'm not going to weld them up yet. I just want to see where they're going to be. If I put a battery here, and a battery here, like that, then we can put 2 ion thrusters on the back here. Not sure if we have the other ones. See, ion. Like these, for example. They do take a lot of space. And they are kind of blocking now me from getting that container there, the connector. Let's recharge first. Yeah, I don't think ion thrusters is going to be a smart choice, because they're going to drain my battery in an instance. So they're going to be just using the battery power I just added on it. I think we should just forget ion thrusters and go purely for hydrogen with a small selection of batteries that should power our drills and have enough power to power the generator. Something else that I forgot is the braking thrusts. My drills are blocking everything that's gonna make it possible to make braking thrust. I can put them on the bottom. I can put them on the top, but then it's gonna be just too much. So I think we might have to put our drills one step further outside, and then we can put our thrusters, our braking thrust, right next to our cockpit if I do it like that. Yeah, I think if I put there, that should allow me to put thrusters right there in the middle. Alright, so we got braking thrust, we got left thrust, we got downwards thrust or upwards thrust. We just need to have some there, which we could probably do here. If I replace you, yeah, we can do that as well. So we got this, then the only thing we have remaining is forward thrust. So we will need batteries, because otherwise our drills won't work. I don't exactly know how much these are draining. Maximum required input 2 kilowatts. How much do these small batteries give us? $200 kilowatts. So 2 kilowatt, that means I got 100 per battery. And I'm not entirely sure if this is per hour or whatever, but I'm just trying to get a little bit of a calculation going. If we only focus the batteries on the drills, then we should be fine, I think. Because then we can put some drill batteries here. We can put some batteries there. And we just focus on a full hydrogen-powered ship. Question is, how long are these tanks gonna last? Either way, I'm gonna focus on getting, let me see, do we want, yeah. So I'm gonna put 2 gyros in here. Or just 1. One gyro and a battery here and a battery here. And then we can do the same here, put some batteries here, and then use that port to conveyor, or that port here. 1, 2, 3. Wait, did we conveyor you up? Yes, we did. 1, 2, 3. Let's get some ice, if I still have some. Drop that in here. And now, while I'm working on the ship, the generator can now make hydrogen, so we have a little bit of fuel for later, so we can then move the ship to a connector and then charge it completely up. Alright, if I go into my cockpit, you can see I got now 1 hour left. If I turn on my drills, and let me just put the block tools in there. If I now turn them on, we still got 1 hour. So the batteries should be pretty okay for this. Alright, so now we can focus on some hydrogen thrusters. Okay, let's just clean my build planner. I'm going to put one of them in my build planner and then just press Control and withdraw a whole bunch. Thank you for the person that pointed this out to me. I really forgot the name and I really forgot what video it was on, but that's such a helpful technique where I can just keep withdrawing the same resources over and over. 3 left. 3 right. 3 bottom. I wonder if I should just put one here on the drill as well, like that. 4 lifts. There we go. A few here. I don't think we need that much, but do we put them inside or do we put them on top? I think top is better. I need to change that block.
Energy critical.
No.
Okay, we got 9 hours of battery power and 45% on hydrogen. Alright, so now all the thrusters are working. We just need to provide now a conveyor somewhere where we can just connect our ship to. Just something temporary, to be honest, so that we can charge up and then we can always remove it and place it somewhere else. I think we just need some pipes for now. I don't think we need anything reinforced or whatever. Where's the elbow? That's the elbow. Go one higher, maybe. Like that. And then we put a conveyor here, or do we just put that and a conveyor then like this? That should allow us to both just recharge, refuel. Alright, while the assembler is doing the rest of the resources, we should focus on our ship and maybe start putting some groups together and the toolbar. And then we can weld up the connector after that. Control panel. We have landing gears incomplete, that doesn't matter. And as usual, I don't know what to call this minor, but I'm pretty sure you guys got some suggestions, so leave them in the comments. And yes, I know I still need to rename the fighter. We're gonna have to do that as well. I'm just gonna group this now for now. Call this minor batteries. Minor hydrogen tanks. And then all the thrusters. Then we can put all these on our toolbar. Did I not make the tanks? Okay. Recharge on off. Toggle block on and off. Groups. These go on the stockpile. On and off. Then we have a connector which can say switch lock. Anything else? No. Alright, let's finish that connector. There we go. Now, I should be able to ground you off and you should stay up. So, fingers crossed. Okay, so that stays up. That's not bad. Better than my fighter, for sure. Okay, let's get it back to the connector. It does seem to fly very smoothly and nimble, so that's good. Battery is at 10 hours, so that's good. Connect. Let's recharge battery. Let's refuel. And that should be our drilling ship. Maybe we can work on some armor later. So I'm gonna just go down here, drill some space, then drill some nickel, drill some iron, clear up the space below it, and then just drop it in here and let it refine. I think cobalt is interesting, but not important right now, as we do have some, and we are, I think if I'm correct, refining some cobalt already. So the major importance will be nickel, iron, silicon, these kinds of things. Maybe magnesium. I think we had some magnesium. What now? Alright, I think next episode, next week, we're gonna take out that outpost there because it's bothering me now. Constantly in that radio. I think we're gonna upgrade my little fighter and just take it out. Okay, we got a battery on charge of 33. We don't need that much anyway. So, everything is refilled. We can disconnect. We got 40 hours on our battery, so we should be good. Now, what I want to test is, if I go down, you're holding up pretty well. Okay. Change angle of view. Alright, let's clear up some of the ice until we get the deposit. I mean, we don't need to be very sparse with it because there's so much ice on this planet. We don't need to care about this. Isn't this nice? Alright, let's switch over to drilling now, or mining. Get some of that nickel. And the marker there on top of my toolbar is going to show when we are completely full. I'm going to be careful to start with, just to make sure that we are not overweight and see if the thrusters can handle it. So 30,000 is definitely not a problem on this one for the moment. It's a big hole. Okay, so we're going to connect on the connector. We're going to deposit what we have, and then we can do some more mining. We can do some further testing later to see how much exactly we can lift with our frontwards thrusters. But now we can refinery and just, there we go. I might put an event block on this later that does this all automatically for me and just recharges every time we are connecting. Could even make a system with the conveyor sorters to just withdraw everything without me having to go into the menu. I mean, Easy would also do a good job at that for the moment. But I'm not sure if Easy is the right approach for a small base like this. I only have one container for now, so... Let's get some iron. I'm gonna need a lot of it. But this is nice, instead of having to manually drill this. You know what I forgot? Was lights. Currently weighing 60,000. And the ship seems to be still managing it pretty well. I think my drills are filling up there. You can see the bar is filling up, so I think we're almost at the max. There we go. I mean, that's like 85,000, and we are good. We are really good. This is really no problem lifting this all out of the pit. So, nice. So, as we can see, my ship is holding the weight on the 3 thrusters pretty well. I'm not falling down and my ship is full. So that's good. That means I don't need to worry about drilling too much. So now we are making nickel and iron, which is going to make it much easier to finish our build off. Let me just put these on recharge and fill. Turn off our thrusters. There we go. And that's it. I think we did a good job. We got ourselves the miner. We did quite some mining already. I might have to think about already starting to install a separate tank. And my aim is probably to just stay under the ice. Just keep this hole open and just clear out the area under the ice. And hopefully keep this layer on top so we can still build something above it. Alright, I think that's a good place to wrap things up for today. We've managed some solid work. We got ourselves a good outpost that's basic but effective. And I'm quite pleased with how the living area came together. I'm happy with the fact that it's also airtight. We're gonna have to focus next week on building and setting up the airlocks so we can have a nice, warm and breathable place all the time when we go in and out. And before I forget, we also stumbled upon that icon ship, We didn't exactly take it down, somebody else did, but we did manage to salvage it for some extra thruster components, which is going to be fantastic, because that means we can improve our fighter ship as we're gonna need it. Because next episode I want to take down that nearby outpost, even if it's just to shut them up. But that's gonna be for next week. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you next week again. Have a great day. Beeblebum out.